And welcome everyone to this episode of the Depths Podcast. This is episode 21, The Boyfriend Experience, coming off of episode 19, which was The Girlfriend Experience. So we spoke to some lovely ladies 2 weeks ago about how they do GFE, and that naturally led us to this point where we gathered some of the leading BFE male streamers out on Twitch and Fansly right now. And we want to hear from them also about their unique perspective on making BFE content. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Lady Mystique. Say hi, Mystique.
Hi, hi.
And we're going to do some introductions, although these gentlemen probably need no introduction because you probably know them. But starting exactly to my right, let's hear from Maito. Yeah?
I'm losing my... Wait, whoa.
Are you okay?
Hi. Yeah, I'm good. I had the stream audio on, dude. I was...
Oh,
I just blew my own mind, bro. Oh my god. Hi, everyone. I'm Maito, and I'm clearly not attached to this mortal plane. What's up? I'm a villain VTuber, and I'm kind of blushing right now. I'm a little embarrassed, but check out these other lovely VTubers. Go ahead.
Okay, because he's not going to do it himself. Maito is a creator on Twitch and YouTube, 14K, 15K now on YouTube, does BF audios, and has a spicy Patreon as well. Very, very talented and lovely voiced villain VTuber. When he uses the mic correctly.
Up the shade, that's crazy.
Just kidding. This is Maito's 5th appearance on the podcast. He's been here a lot.
I think so.
Yeah. And next up, making a return to the podcast, Wheelie. Wheelie was here early on for the male VTuber episode. I think that was like episode 4, believe it or not. So we've come a long way. But Wheelie, tell us a little about yourself.
It has been 16 episodes, and I've still yet to find it, guys. I think being a male VTuber, just not for me. I think I'm gonna have to be... Oh god. But I am really the pirate of your dreams. I'm a VTuber voice actor and ASMR artist. I do ASMR content on YouTube. This is kind of what I think I want to be more. At least recently. Yeah, no, it's so good to have me.
So this is what happens when you replace your eyes with fried eggs?
They do look like fried eggs.
They do look like fried eggs.
Man, I can't bring him anywhere.
What is that?
Welcome back to the podcast, Wheelie.
I'm watching you.
And making his first appearance on the pod, Craven.
Yo, my name's Craven. I'm a anti-convey tuber. I usually play horror games on Twitch. I started going back doing ASMR again. On Twitch as well. Hopefully this year I can get on the blue Twitch and then get a jump start on YouTube as well.
Hell yeah. So that's our panel for tonight, everybody. These creators have various experience across YouTube, Twitch, and various platforms. So if you do have any questions about those platforms, feel free to ask them in chat. And if you have any questions at all that relate to the content or we're talking about, make sure to drop them in chat and we'll get to them as we go along the discussion. But to kick us off, let's start with a softball. And maybe this won't be as easy because it tends to stump people, but what would you say your core appeal as a content creator is?
What's your charm point?
Yeah.
I think for me, what draw people into my streaming stars is my model, like the aesthetics, my model, and my voice. And I think what keeps in there is like my personality. So I can be quite silly and it's kind of different than what they expect, but I think my chat likes it.
You do the scuff drawings and stuff. I've seen that.
Yeah,
I have noticed. Yeah, I've noticed you do the you have the black and white aesthetic. Can you tell us a little bit more about your choice to embrace black and white like that? And gray?
it just happened by chance. Honestly, I was trying to look for like a model artist or like a PNG artist when I first started, and I just so happened to come across mine by accident, and I found their art. And I was like, "Fuck, this just fits me so like perfectly."
Mhm.
I just rolled with it.
Sometimes things just fit, and it fits you pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, I find the common out because I do watch all three of you. I think the common point between all three of you is that you are all a bit silly sometimes. You got a goofy side. Would you
What are
agree
you
with that
talking
statement?
about? I'm
You're a little-
hella serious, dude.
You're not hella serious.
Guys, I've never once goofed off in my life.
You're the goofiest man I know.
Mm.
Let's go to the
Talking about my
vibe.
cousin.
Do you ever think that like part of your charm is the gap moe?
Wait, can you elaborate?
It's like you've got a persona, particularly you, Maito, of being like this tough, like dominant villain VTuber, and then you do silly things, and that makes you like more charming and makes people fall in love with you because they feel like they see a vulnerable side.
I feel like if I do stuff like that, it's not intentional. Like I'm not. It's not scripted. I swear. It's just kind of my personality, you know. So if that works in my favor, then hell yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, I guess you'd have to ask my fans what they think because I don't really know. I don't know if I have insight on that necessarily.
I'm seeing a lot of "we love goofy boys" in chat. I think I'd agree with that statement. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't just be on it all the time.
Yeah.
I think it just gives like a bit of, I guess, realness to the whole thing. Like a lot of the personality that we show on stream, at least for me, it's kind of just like me when I am ready to present myself, versus like me in my general life. I'm kind of the same thing. I'm kind of just like pretty goofy, whatever. And sure, I may have certain aspects that like might be more marketable or something like that, but at the end of the day, I don't really think of my life as a marketable venture. It's just me doing me things. So I think when it comes to streaming, it's kind of like you guys just see more of the, the realness in our personality.
Loveman says, if you don't like me at my goofy, you don't deserve me at my lewd tubing.
Hell yeah.
Preach.
True.
Well, I think just being able to like do levity and like be goofy and like be secure in yourself to be like, okay, if I let the sexy mask drop for a bit and just do something silly, like people are still gonna find me charismatic. Riz, as they say. I think that's an important part of it, like being able to like not take yourself 110% seriously.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe being goofy lowers the intensity level a little bit, and I think intensity is what can throw people off sometimes. Like I see a lot of people starting out and they just like flirt really intensely, and I think it like intimidates people,
Yeah.
So maybe being goofy kind of takes the edge off.
You know what this reminds me of? Have you guys seen that video of the guy like aggressively making bread or something like that, like in a very sexual way?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh my god. He like spanks the bread.
He spanks the dough. He like sniffs it, puts his fingers in it, and like it's supposed to be sexy, and it's not.
High quality ASMR.
That's
when he starts eating it out, I'm always just, where am I? What am I doing here?
Like seriously, the bread needs a lawyer or something after that, but it just
I
reminds me
need
of
a
like
lawyer.
Yeah, you need a lawyer too.
I'm suing for damages. Fuck that.
Exactly.
Emotional distress.
Yeah, but then I saw like a video the other day, like of like just a chubby guy like cooking in the kitchen, like making like really nice food, and like the comments like, "This is hot. This is hot. This is hot. This is hot." I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. This guy is genuine. This guy is like secure and confident.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there was
I
that
think-
kind of joke panel joke channel on Pornhub where it was just guys doing like regular domestic chores, like hot guys.
I'd watch that.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I think it comes down to confidence. When people are confident in the things that they do, whether it's being goofy or dominant or whatever, like having that sort of like flirty personality on stream, as long as there's like a balance and it's both confident, it kind of just balances out. Like they know that even if you're goofy, even if you're weird sometimes, even if there's a tinge of craziness going on, unhinged behavior, it's like, okay, this person can do many things because they're a real person with multifaceted levels of, depth and personality, and it's not just one-sided. And I think that's just like the whole charm, is that, we're people. Can be different on different days, feel different things.
I would definitely agree with that. I think that's what separates people from like struggling to sort of make it in like the YouTubing sphere, or like BFE, or like even like like women, female oriented content versus like people who are successful. Like at the end of the day, like it really comes down to like if people are thinking you're being genuine about it and like are comfortable with what you're doing,
That's actually a great lead-in to one of the main topics, which is, what is your boyfriend experience?
Yeah, exactly. How do you convey that boyfriend experience to your chat, your communities? Because there's no one way to do it, right? There's multiple ways to like give that good BFE vibe, but like how do you do it?
Well, I guess for me, it's probably a little bit different from the other two guys here. But my BFE is mostly on YouTube. And for that, I'm acting, So I kind of portray a bunch of different characters. Sometimes I'm the shy boy. Sometimes I'm the bully, But I guess I just like step into the persona and just kind of play it up.
Which of your personas do you think is like the most popular right now?
I'd say probably like the bully, like jerk, something like that. Like I know the one audio I made that's like, forced to share a hotel room with your infuriating coworker. That one is like still getting attention because I think people just like that asshole, and watching them soften up and reveal a little vulnerable side. I think that trope of like enemies to lovers gets a lot of love for good reason.
Yeah, this just kind of affirms my theory that most Twitch viewers just want to be bullied.
A bad boy who'd be good just for me. Well,
exactly.
For the viewer kind of thing.
We know what you meant.
Yeah, but I have to explain stuff.
I know. Willie, you actually do a bit of acting too. I was looking at your Patreon earlier today.
Yeah.
That's some personas too, no?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube as well. But I think for me the most popular role is kind of just the people really enjoy like either like it's the flip, yeah, either comfort or the bully kind of thing. But I think a lot of the time when it comes to just what I've experienced as well on Twitch, because I do both. When I stream on Twitch, a lot of people really enjoy the cussing out aspect of some of the triggers, and I think it just kind of is a little bit of a, they see this person on the internet that, can be funny, can be whatever, not to toot my own horn, so I'm just going to stop right there.
No,
but,
do it,
they
go.
see that there's,
Yeah, absolutely.
different qualities, and then they're like, okay, they can suddenly spike this and turn it up a notch. and make it very like, you know, give them a targeted sense of dopamine that they're looking for. And then I
So-
think that's kind of like where I've noticed people do enjoy the cussing out.
So like it's like degradation then, if I'm understanding correctly, the cussing out redeem.
Yeah. Well, as much as you can do on Twitch, right?
Right. So it's like swearing like a sailor. Gotcha.
So, from what I'm hearing, you're saying that people are enjoying your ability to, I suppose, be adaptable and to present like a number of different facets of what it means to be quote unquote boyfriend.
Yeah, I think they like the. A lot of the like reactions I get is I was not expecting that. You know,
Oh yeah. Okay.
like they like the shock factor, or you know, usually when I do content, I don't necessarily frame it in a lens of like super flirty or anything. I kind of just like I'll be myself, you know. I'll try to be funny. I'll try to do whatever. If it's ASMR, I'll try to, you know, focus on creating a comfy atmosphere. But I think there are times where that comfy atmosphere is suddenly met with like, oh shit, like a level of intensity that's a bit higher, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me spend more fucking channel points. Let me- I think that's kind of how it works. Yeah.
So I think there's like one commonality, like, and I maybe want to lean on Craven for this one actually. People are seeking out like sort of that bad boy like persona. They like the tats, the jewelry, like they like the chest, and like these sort of immersion breaks and such. But it seems like the most common thread among all three of you is safety and feeling cozy with you. And when you have that sort of safety and comfort, then you can kind of delve more into like degradation, or like Maito spits on people sometimes, for example.
Wait, really?
No, I mean not so much anymore.
That's so much
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
That was definitely a thing that happened a lot though.
And it was very popular, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who are into that.
Yeah, but
Oh.
Craven, as our resident bad boy, how do you feel like about like? Do you think you project an an aura of like confidence and like not confidence, but like safety and coziness?
Yeah, I think so. When it comes to like my chat, I usually don't like flirt with them, or like don't give them pen names or anything like that until they're comfy or they start first. They initiate it, and then I respond back to them. So I don't want them to say anything or like do anything that makes them uncomfy or anything like that.
There was a great quote. I forgot who said it, but like they were like essentially like, "Your comfort's number one. Like I will respect that up until you tell me it's okay. Then I'm just gonna go fucking
Yeah.
wild on you."
Yeah, that's why I like I like I don't want to degrade anyone, but like I have a redeem for it. So if they want to be degraded, then I'll degrade. You feel like, or I'll have to praise redeem as well.
Mhm.
And that's
Craven
same
has
with
offered to suck my toes.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's Mixie. Mixie was on last week's the last episode.
Hi, Minxie.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if it's like toe sucking or spitting on people, like all these things like come with a base level of being comfy with somebody first.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and always make sure to tell them too. Like, if I ever say anything that makes them comfy, or call it something you don't like, you just let me know.
So, do you ever actually, Wheelie, go ahead, Wheelie.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna
I
ask
just
Craven
agree.
real quick. Oh, okay, yeah, that was an agreement noise. Gotcha. So Craven, do you ever do any acting yourself? Like Wheelie and Maito have personas and sort of they do like their little things when they do audios. How about you? Do you have just the Craven persona, or?
I mean, I kind of just started dabbling with audios, so I was probably like the smallest experience I have with it.
Mhm.
But I don't really like act like, you know, like, oh, I'm a bad boy, or like, you know, I just act like myself.
God damn. We are not seeing any questions in chat. All we're seeing is gifted subs right now.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to avoid freaking
Let's
out about it,
go.
but it's pretty cool.
Cool.
W's in chat. W's.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you everyone so much. I really do appreciate it. Your support helps viewers like you put on content like this. Yes. Right. So I'm just gonna go to my list of questions. Oh yes, here we go. This is a good one. Are there any particular kinks or scenarios that your audience likes? Chat's been exposing you guys. Now it's your turn to expose them back.
Well, we already mentioned the spitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is spitting, guys? I need like a demonstration real quick.
Bro. Hey, you gotta cough up those channel points, homie. You ain't getting that for free.
Oh, I thought
Redeem it.
I just heard like spitting and you saying, "Oh, you got to cough up," and I was like, "Oh God."
Oh no.
Not the loogie. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's gross.
Yeah, no.
Maito, I'm letting you alone right now. I have 5k channel points. I'm ready.
Oh shit.
I'm fucking ready. No, I think my Twitch is kind of more. They enjoy things like the really comforting stuff, like heartbeats and just like praise and stuff like that. They like hearing they're gonna be okay, and you know, even speaking in Arabic, they like that too.
Mm.
I didn't know you spoke Arabic.
Yeah. I kind of
That's
just
cool.
I kind of just say whatever, but sometimes I'll do comfort too. I think they do enjoy, like I said before, the degrading, but I would say it's a little bit easier to explore that on different websites, like on YouTube. I think people enjoy the like sort of caught being like in an embarrassing situation, or like bonding in that way, kind of like
Yeah.
only you and I know that this happened between us, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think they kind of like the more, I wouldn't say emotional manipulation, because that's kind of like a weird way of saying it, but like the like I got dirt on you and I know that you're kind of like I would say it's a bit of like an
So they enjoy a
voyeur
bit of a sense
slash-
of threat.
yeah,
Like you're holding
doesn't have to
some
even be
camera.
direct, you know.
Mm.
This is going to sound like a weird analogy, but just ride it out with me, y'all. Okay. Male strippers, like bachelor parties, male strippers, right? Sometimes it kind of feels like, at a certain level, like male YouTubing, that chat's kind of having a collective experience with you, where like chat's kind of daring themselves to do things like, you know, with the streamer, and like this kind of this collective like, ooh, like, oh, he spit on this one, oh, I'm gonna spit on me, that kind of thing. What do you guys get that sort of vibe sometimes?
Yeah.
Shit, that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Yeah, definitely.
The only reason I know that because like I would watch like Maito with my female friends, and that's a vibe that I would get.
Ash would
Yeah.
be sitting there. I know the friend zone isn't real, but like I imagine him as this guy with a group of girls, and they're all like simping hard over Maito, and he's just sitting there like quietly, like
No, I was taking notes.
Oh no, I know. This is
No,
my
but-
headcanon. It has nothing to do with reality.
Of course. No, but that's definitely the vibe. I thought that was pretty cool actually, because like it engendered a space where like where else do people get this? Like on the internet or in IRL or like anywhere, you know? like not enough is said about like, what is sensual to women, what do women like, what makes women like, what turns women on, for example. You're not gonna find much of that outside of like live streaming, if you ask me.
Or
Agreed.
Reddit.
Or Reddit. Good point, actually. Good point.
Speaking of male strippers, do you guys ever post? I know Wheelie does, but do you guys ever post like IRL pictures of yourselves or your bodies or anything like that?
No. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I do.
I have just like a tiny bit in the past. And like I posted an emergent break for TwitchCon, but I don't really do that.
All I see in the chat is Craven, 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 Craven.
Yeah, no, that was an interesting way to lead into that. Speaking of male strippers, Wheelie, you're No, I think we're all kind of just hot, sexy dudes on the internet, but I think the kind of approach I have for it is just that I've always had like hand cams, so it's just like another way of showing off more content or kind of tying things together a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, like for me personally, it's kind of been a gym journey too, just showing off like the work that I've put in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Just like a good pair of hands, your chest sometimes. Like it can that does a lot. Like it does a lot of the work. Like when it comes to like being titillating and making content. I've noticed.
Yeah. I mean, we are in an industry where appeal is more important than anything else. Like first impressions, marketability. Looking
You
as
sound
good
like
as
me
possible.
now.
No, I love words. They're my favorite.
Yeah, I use them every day.
Really?
Just gonna speak
I mean, your
grunts for the
fans,
rest
they
of
would
the
bag it.
podcast.
I'm just saying, you're blue. I'm such a big fan of you. Is what I said. Anyway.
Yeah,
The noises.
I think chat would love if you all just spoke in grunts for the rest of the stream, like ooh ooh.
We're caveman now.
No, don't like it too much. I can't do that. Then keep bothering me about it. Craven, do the grunts. Do the grunts. Do
Yeah.
the grunts, Craven. Do it.
I mean, maybe if they ask for whimpers instead of grunts, then I don't know.
Why do ladies like whimpers?
Mm.
Is it a vulnerability thing?
Yeah.
Why?
Can I answer that?
Sure, go for it. As a resident lady.
As a resident female lady person, I love whimpers because I enjoy that he is feeling so much pleasure and sexual desire that he is dropping the mask of respectability just for me. And I am pleasuring him enough that he is doing that. So it makes me feel good about myself, as well as turning me on knowing that I am turning him on and like doing a really good job.
Valid.
I think Chad agrees with you, by the way.
Oh, thank you, chat. You can keep doing that.
Chad just flying around. Facts, preach, facts. You're on activation.
That's why I'm here, everybody.
See, that's an interesting thing, because like that's a tough thing for me to unpack. Like, I don't think I do whimpers and stuff like that, but people have told me it sounds like that when I do it, and I don't know. I guess it is a vulnerability thing, because it's trusting that you guys are gonna hear this and not be like squicked out by it. I guess in my case,
or to think less of you, because in sort of a patriarchal society, I feel that there is a societal pressure on men to maintain a facade.
yes.
And for someone to feel safe and feel enough pleasure that they want to drop that facade and just fully kind of go a little bit feral and express completely freely is a really intimate experience. And the fact that, you know, you're special enough and that you're doing a good enough job that your partner wants to do that is extremely sexy.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of just like a trust thing, I think, where it's like they're trusting you enough to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also seen appeal for like whimper audios where like the guy is in a completely different situation. Like I've heard whimper audios are popular on TikTok for some reason, but like
Oh god.
it's like the guy doing push-ups or something and like whimpering and grunting and shit, and like just like these scenarios where they're like not like sexual scenarios, but you know,
Yeah, but it's
the
still
viewer is
physical
getting sexual
exertion with whimpering.
gratification. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So-
physical exertion with whimpering, that's it. Your mind can fill in the blanks.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder a little bit if the juxtaposition to sexuality is a part of the intrigue for stuff like that. Like it's not directly sexual, but like because your brain can make that connection, I wonder if it makes it a little more interesting. You know, kind of like how sometimes, you know, just looking at someone fully nude isn't quite as interesting as when there's a little left to the imagination.
I agree.
Or I guess you could call it an abstraction, right?
I think a lot of people benefit from imagining situations like that. Like going into like RP in general, there's a lot of focus on, you know, setting the mood and, you know, trying to make it as immersive as possible. And I think for a lot of people, they enjoy the writing aspect of, you know, sexual literature, or they enjoy like the fanfic aspect and things like that. I think a lot of people around, you know, the newer generations and I think up to millennials enjoyed that at some point in their life, or have tried something out like that. They kind of just, I think, goes back into that fantasy where it kind of just feeds that fantasy. And as male VTubers, well, VTubers in general, that is kind of a fantasy, right? Like there's some aspect of that that's kind of fantasy.
Yes, absolutely. I saw a comment earlier from Enduring Chaos. Breathing is another thing. I would agree.
Oh yeah.
Breathing, very sexy. If you can like harness it to your advantage when you're doing ASMR or like sort of doing chill streams, people will vibe with that. And like it seems like such a simple thing, but these gentlemen over here have sort of mastered that, I believe.
It's an important part of in acting too, you know, like people think that the words are the most important part, but sometimes like the space and what you do with your breath in between the words is just as important, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Breath control.
I try to listen to everyone who like reads my scripts, and I would say the number one feedback I do have for people is that they need to take their time and breathe, because they just fly through the fucking thing. Like, yeah.
I did some training with my dad, who is a professional voiceover artist, and that was the number one critique he gave me. He was like, you can pause for 6 weeks. Just like take your time. And it takes a while to get used to putting those pauses in and slowing down.
I mean, I get nervous. Like, I'm like, all right, I should be saying something. I should be filling up the space right now. Like, yeah.
Craven, you're actually just getting into sort of the voice acting space. What do you like? Do you find that you battle with anything like that?
I feel like because like the other day I was recording some stuff for people, and then I feel like at first it was doing good, then like later I felt like I was losing like a confidence in it in a bit. or like I was just like putting my heart out to it. I feel like when that happens, it just doesn't like it sound as good. It sounds like you're just like half-assing it. And it doesn't
That's
sound
actually
genuine.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with too.
Yeah.
So do you read scripts or do you freestyle, guys?
It depends. Depends how I'm feeling. I feel like when I freestyle it, it's way more genuine and way more like it sounds way more like immersive and real. Scripts is kind of like I'm still trying to learn to where it doesn't sound like I'm reading a script.
Right. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually improv when it comes to like Twitch or YouTube. There's sometimes I do use scripts, but I'm open to either. I just usually do improv because it makes it a little bit easier for me to kind of tailor the content the way that I like it. Like, I usually just have like a notepad on my phone and I just have like little ideas on there and I just pick one out. And it'll be like short little ideas. Like 3 words, 4 words, couch, boyfriend, tummy, comfort, something like that.
You're just watching the stream right now.
No. I'll just make it like based off of that. I'll improv a situation where I am in that, or think of different ways that could work. And I'm not afraid to make mistakes when I record. Like, I'll just edit it out, right? It's not a big deal. So the confidence kind of builds itself up there, I think. And it transfers to Twitch too when I stream, because then I'm like, even if I make a little mistake, it's not a big deal, whatever, just keep going. But definitely, it can get a little bit exhausting though, to improv all the time. Like, on Twitch, there are definitely times where I'm like, oh, this degrading redeem kind of sounds similar to the last one I did. How can I mix it up?
I have that same problem too.
Yeah, there was a time where I set a limit of like 2 per stream because like I just genuinely could not think of more creative things to say to different people, you know?
Yeah.
Now I feel bad.
Yeah.
That's funny. But I think it's a good skill to keep trying to like challenge, Improv translates to everything with content.
Absolutely. Something that I learned because I've taken some like acting classes and whatnot. They all say like if you mess up in character, and it's something that's really hard to do, but I feel like it ties into improv for sure because like you gotta keep the immersion going and like if you mess up and you're like, oh sorry, let me start over, it just like breaks everything. But if you just imagine what your character would say in a situation where he like trips over his tongue or something and just keep going, like the audience might not even notice that you made a mistake.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's tough to like. I can't imagine like improving with chat, like, because it's hard enough to think of things on your own, but also like having a live audience also like talking to you while you do it. I mean, in some ways you can riff off of it too, but like it's definitely a honed skill. So like, what's some advice you'd give to somebody who kind of is struggling to improv? And I'm being selfish here because this is straight up a thing that I don't do and I would like to do. You know what I mean?
I like sometimes like when I have free time, I like to read like scripts and stuff just so I can be like inspired and like it's just like in my head. So like if something pops up in chat, like oh I could just like use that script and like kind of like go off from there and just like gain ideas from that.
Yeah, I watch YouTube videos like for inspiration when it comes to making content, so I will pull kind of some ideas or like transform things generally, but definitely just when it comes to anything where you're trying to improv, the more experience you have, or just awareness is the best, you know? Even with like more ASMR focused stuff, like, you know, when you probably won't realize what some triggers are until you start watching ASMR, right?
Yeah.
Just things
Yeah,
like that,
true.
you know?
Great point.
You gotta just try things out, you know? And at the end of the day, the audience that you have around you is there for you. If you make one little stutter or you mess up one little time, like no one's really gonna care. Yeah, sure, it can feel like you have all these eyes on you sometimes, but like, as long as you get through it and don't just give up, then hey, you got through it, and that's better than not trying. And that's experience, you know? And you can
That's
think
so
about
true.
it. Yeah, you can think like, okay, I messed this up. Next time, what can I do better?
Yeah.
Are your boyfriend experiences specifically tied to sex, or do you have more of a focus on romance / emotional intimacy?
I feel like mine leans towards the sex stuff. I feel like I started out with more like romance, more like comfy stuff. I feel like recently it's gotten like a lot more lewd. I think just because like I'm feeling more like comfy, and then like my chat's very supportive of it, and like they're very like encouraging of it, and I don't know, I know they like it, and yeah, like I just want to make them happy and whatever they want to do. That makes me comfy as well.
It's like a self-fulfilling loop. So you're more lewd, chat
Yeah.
likes it. So you're more lewd, so chat likes it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 'cause it feels good. It feels
It
really
is
good.
good. It's a really
Yeah.
rewarding feeling. Yeah.
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 We have corrupted Craven finally, says TVX passionate chat.
Yeah. That's always funny because when I first started streaming, I didn't think I would be like anything like this. You know, I just wanted to play shooters and stuff when I first started. Not like a boyfriend experience type of guy.
That's how they get you, bro.
It's the positive, like, slutty feedback loop.
Yeah.
And this is another one I know the answer for, Wheelie at least, but have any of you ever come for your fans?
Well, look at her face right now.
Right? So eager. No, I would say the most.
Listen, I
uncomfortable
bought a
doing-
membership to Wheelie's Patreon. I know the answer to this one.
Yeah. I don't think I can do any sort of visuals or stuff like that. Just audio for now.
Yeah, no.
Agreed.
Definitely.
Yeah, I once or twice on Blue Twitch.
Let's go, chat. Made my to come. Wow.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
it's a barrier. It's like the biggest barrier, I think, for guys, I think. Because I didn't come on stream. Like, I was even streaming on Fansly, and I didn't come like until like 5 months in, I think. Because I just wasn't ready to like have my chat or my community see me like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very vulnerable place to be. It's not necessarily something everyone is comfortable with.
Right. But like, it just is it's like in many things we've talked about so far. It is like giving that level of trust and intimacy and letting the facade drop, like letting them hear what you sound like when you climax, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I did want to sort of wheel it back just a tiny bit, because there was something I wanted to ask early on that we didn't quite get to, and that's why do women especially seek out the BFE online? Like, what is driving people to seek guys like you out, and like how do you meet that need? Is it perhaps loneliness? Is it a need for intimacy? Is it a lack of positive male media out there, you know? Being single mostly, like Luffy says.
I feel like one is like for comfort, and they really want like affirmations and stuff. Sometimes they just like that, or sometimes just having like a bad day, and they'll come to the stream like, "Oh, Craven, you made me feel better and stuff." I think it's like that as well, or just like like you said, like intimacy as well. Like sometimes it's hard to like sometimes people are just stuck at home and they can't like they're not able to go out and stuff, so they go online, and we're able to like to provide that experience for them.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
I feel like the demand for stuff like this also picked up in like the pandemic, you know,
Yeah.
because like going out and meeting people, like just strangers and whatnot, and stuff like that, or even seeing your friends was more difficult for a time. But like now that things are a little more normal, people have probably gotten into the habit of like, you know, finding that need fulfilled online.
Yeah. I think people also enjoy a positive aspect of masculinity, right? A lot of like, a lot of dating scene, let's be real guys, right now, it's kind of cringe. Like,
It's
a lot of weird men out there, and it's very hard to find someone that you can really open up to. And kind of this, I think the BFE experience is just putting a little band-aid on it until, you know, their needs can truly be met. But yeah,
Eli,
it
you
is
said it
hard.
up the top. Most real men, stinky and dangerous.
Very true. If they have a fish in their bio, I'm just saying, leave. If they're holding up a fish, don't do it.
I actually hear that is a cliche. Like it's like two things. Either they're fishing or they're like hiking somewhere.
Oh, true. Stop. Don't describe my brother like that.
Fish want me, women fear me.
And that's why they seek out male VTubers instead.
MILF, man, I love fishing.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
I love MILFs.
I also love MILFs. Those are my core audience. But yeah.
Didn't just turn 36.
Oh, happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you kindly. It was yesterday.
Oh my god. Everyone sing happy birthday in chat.
Oh my god, please don't do that.
Wheelie does that.
Yeah.
You'll like
Ukulele.
instruct chat to like say something to you, and she just puts you on the spot, and it's like, oh my god.
Thank you guys. I feel like I'm entering my MILF arc.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think loneliness is a huge component of it, actually. And that kind of just like delves more into why people LootTube to begin with and why people watch LootTubers, because this is a safe and acceptable avenue to deal with a lot of things such as like loneliness, lack of intimacy, like potentially wanting to express your sexuality but not being able to do so because of the household you're in or the community you're in. And in that way, like this is why I don't think VTubing or like male VTubing is going to be going away anytime soon, because even as things open up from the pandemic, loneliness still exists and still very much a thing.
Oh yeah.
And we were not the first ones to be doing stuff like this. Like Japan has host clubs, like they have male hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and their primary function is not to screw customers, it's to listen to people talk about their day and like be an outlet for them to like spend some money, have a drink, that kind of thing, you know?
My coworkers took me to one.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have to pretend to be gay?
No. Wait,
Oh.
what?
I heard that some host clubs won't let men in unless they're like gay.
Oh no, well, it was. I think what they call it is snuck, which is like snack.
Snack bar.
But
Yeah.
basically,
You are a
you just
snack.
go, you get. Shush. You go, you go and you get drinks, and then the women there, like you pay extra, to go in, and or like the there's like an extra charge on the receipt, and it's because like the women who work there, part of their job is to just talk to the customers and like give them that companionship for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was a ladies' snack bar, not a guy's snack bar.
Well, I mean the clientele were men,
Right. Okay.
and the employees were women.
Gotcha.
I thought you meant you were taken to a male host club, you see.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what we thought you meant.
Yeah.
Okay, I was mixed up, I guess. But yeah, both exist
Oh yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing also is that there are people like the aspect of like safety and control, that they can maybe do things or try things with you or with listening to a recording that they wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, seeing if they're into choking, for example.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
like
for
choking in
sure.
real life versus the idea of choking has exceedingly different danger levels.
I literally
Yeah.
just saw a tweet like me biting you. Ooh, this is great. Me being bitten. Ow, this hurts.
Exactly.
I think, yeah, the BFE has an opportunity for everyone to kind of like indulge themselves in things that they might not have the opportunity in otherwise, and figure out what they like and what they don't like.
Mixed Pitting says, yeah, same with blood play, I think. Yeah, that's a good one actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edge play in particular, a lot of people enjoy the idea but not the actuality.
Wait, like edging?
By edge, you mean like blades, right? Like knives
Well,
and
edge
stuff.
play is stuff that is like physically dangerous. So it's
okay.
like breath play, blades, consensual non-consent, that kind of thing. That's all edge play.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I see.
No edging in chat.
I think it's
Oh
like
shit! That actually does remind me that
anything.
EC asked the question earlier. Sorry about that, Enduring Chaos. EC said, gotta scroll up. I apologize. Are there any boundaries in a script that anyone has found that they didn't know they had? Like, kind of stumbled upon it and decided, like, nope, not doing that.
That's a great question.
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
Especially because these Reddit scripts, they go really hard. Like, they go on for like 12 pages, and it's like choking you out, murders you, buries you underground, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, call me a bad actor, but when it comes to certain like situations like that, I just don't feel comfortable. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a light that I want to shine myself in, you know?
Yeah, if
Like
it makes me
those-
comfy, I won't be able to like do it. I'm sorry, Will. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good. You're
Yeah, CNC is like my hard line, I think. Like, there's no way that it can do that and like have it seen in the right context and also feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting my brand behind something like that is too risky, I think.
Yeah.
CNC is consensual non-consent. So basically it's a non-consensual scene that has been agreed upon by both partners, and they're role-playing the non-consensual bit. Sorry, I saw a question in chat.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I feel like you got to go to like specific websites for that stuff, not like YouTube, Patreon. I feel like that like when you're getting into those like I guess riskier kinks, it's risky for us to like
Yeah, that's when you bring out like release forms and like have like signatures on paper.
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being into those things, any kind of
absolutely.
edge play.
Yeah.
But I assume that whatever content you put out affects how people see you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And people can misconstrue things very easily on the internet.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's my number one concern, honestly. just clipping any part of that out of context and like putting it out there, suddenly your career is over. You're done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scary.
Disclaimers are the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Andy Bun Bun says some of these intense kinks are not even allowed in fans and OnlyFans. That's true. Yes.
that's true.
Yep.
I'm sure there are some like corners of the internet that you can find what you're looking for if that's really what you want, though.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not even that difficult, to be honest. People just have to have it like on their own websites, because Fansly and OnlyFans don't want to be sued out of oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
It's also just natural to the way that we are as content creators, where people can talk to us directly. There's a chat. There's like, you know, we have Twitter accounts. There's ways to get to us, or Discord, whatever it is. Like, if people are making that content, they're gonna have to be like behind a wall, basically. Like, there can't be that open access to us that there is currently. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of hard for some of us when we do other stuff, you know. We want to have opportunities open to us to talk to people, maybe commissions, things like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question from Mixed Pudding. Was this content always your planned content, or did you start Say So and transition to other things? Thank you.
I would say so.
Yeah, I remember you did Say So, Wheelie.
Me
I would say
too.
so in 2021. And then I met a girl, and suddenly no, I'm just kidding. It was I think just like people started talking about me doing ASMR and stuff, and like I kind of stopped caring as much a little bit, like as I got into the flow of streaming. And I think my comedy aligns with curse words, you know, like not that I only rely on curse words for comedy, but it definitely gives me, you know, a sense of comfort when I can rely on my F-bombs and just let that be part of the joke or whatever. I don't know. And on like a more sexual side, I think earlier on I was just kind of like, I was kind of new to the whole internet experience in general. Like before I was a VTuber, I didn't really use Twitter. I didn't use Instagram. I didn't use any social media. I was kind of just whatever, doing my own thing. So I was just being careful. You know, I didn't want to like paint a picture that might look bad for me. But eventually, that filter got fine-tuned, and I stopped caring as much.
So for you, it started with a bit of adult humor, and then sort of like delved into potentially doing more things that are like sultry and seductive and sexy.
Yeah, exactly. Just based on comfort and time.
I believe Craven said that did you start off playing like shooters and stuff like that, or did you sort of fall into the lewd content, Craven?
So yes, I started playing like just like a bunch of random games, and then one stream I was playing a horror game, and then I think that was the most where I was like kind of like flirting with chat, and then that's when it clicked with me like, oh, they like this stuff. So then I started
slutty loop.
Yeah. So then I just started playing like nothing but horror games, and then just flirting with chat here and there, having like good old times and stuff. And then I just felt like as time went on, the more like looter I got, especially when I started doing ASMR.
That's a great point you bring up, actually. You are a horror-focused streamer. You do a lot of horror games, and that's sort of part of your appeal. What leads you to mix your sort of like loot tubing, male VTubing with like the horror content? Like,
And Wheelie's being a whore-focused streamer right now.
Excuse me. What do you mean?
I love the American accent because horror and whore sound the same.
oh,
Yeah.
Horror.
listen, I'm from New York, okay?
Hey, I'm whore in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna start all my fancy streams with, "Hey, I'm a whore in here." But yeah, Craven, for your horror content, like, do you find it an effective strategy to sort of mix like what you do with the horror stuff? Fuck me,
Oh, I made him
Yeah.
self-conscious. I'm sorry.
it's fine.
No, I do that too all the time. They always make fun of me. So I just like call myself a horror streamer and let them think what it means. But yeah, I usually play Dead by Daylight, and I usually do killer. So like when I'm like chasing the survivors, I'm like, I guess I like riz them up and stuff. Or I'm like, I can't wait till I can stab you, or like stuff like that.
Oh
Or, like,
my.
I'm gonna drink your blood when I get my hands on you, or get your ass over here and start like stuff like that. And I think my chat likes that.
God damn.
I believe it.
I fucking like it a little bit. What the fuck? Damn, dude.
One thing I started doing is like a victim redeem. So like if someone redeems that, then I could choose one of the survivors, and every time I chase a survivor, I call out like that chat's name, like. So it's like
Ooh.
Shio,
God.
it's like, come here, Shio, I'm gonna get you, or like stuff like that.
God damn.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's really
good.
creative.
That's really good.
Yeah. Props to you.
That's super clever, dude.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's mostly DVD now.
It's always cool to see how people get creative in this sphere.
Oh, I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why when people like complain that like all VTubers are the same or the content's the same, they're just not really thinking that much, I think.
Mm.
Because like everyone puts their own unique spin on this sort of thing, whether it's like playing horror games, like doing hand cam streams, or you know, just ASMR straight up.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that post that's the current sort of outrage du jour about like, oh, are there any VTubers that aren't big titty anime girls? It's such a shallow view of a
Sir, we
complex
are-
character.
Big titty anime boys, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Damn
Oh.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cover 'em up, slut.
Like if all you're seeing is the tits or the pecs or whatever, then you're missing so much about each person.
Well, it's also insulting to our audiences because it's assuming that our audiences are so stupid to like see past like models or avatars, and like no, that's not the reason why they're here. I'm wearing a hoodie. Like it's not the fucking model people. I think that's what pisses me off. I think when people like criticize male YouTubers, because like they're essentially calling our audiences like coomers, like, and it's like you would not say this about like, you know, the other way around. Oh, maybe you would. Maybe people are fucked up, I guess. But like, when it comes out to, you say whatever you want about us as streamers, but like when you start like insinuating that our communities like are the way they are, or they're not like cultured.
Well, it's
enough
like,
to
oh,
yeah.
when anime girls make all the money because they've got titties, and it's like that's all that people are here for, and all that they can ingest as content, all that they want. You know, the audience has diverse needs and sort of requirements for entertainment as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People have this sort of rhetoric that, you know, if you're abusing, like, or taking advantage of something that you have that others don't, it's like bad, you know? Like, oh, you have a hot anime model, how dare you have big titties and fucking flaunt them and shit. Like, it's just a jealous mentality, honestly, because
Yes.
yeah, people have different advantages and skill sets. That doesn't mean that you like can't have, you know, your own advantages and skill sets. And it doesn't mean that if you don't like it, you have to shine it in a negative light, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they can exist completely separately from your opinion.
Can we get some claps in chat? That was fucking.
Oh, absolutely.
No, that's some good shit, dude. Honestly, like I do see that a lot. Like people complaining about like, or Or I even see it from the streamers themselves. Like they're upset that their audience is like, or they're finding an audience just because of one of their features. Like maybe they're a face cam streamer and they're attractive, and they're like, don't watch me just for my looks. But like, I mean, nobody's gonna stick around just for your looks. But like, own what you got, because like not everybody does, and it's part of your branding. It's part of like what you're putting out there. So of course it's gonna be part of your appeal. I don't think you should be upset about that.
Put it this way, like if people say, "Oh, you're making money just because you've got tits," if I would have 0 viewers if I just stood there like this
Exactly.
and did nothing else. Like that, maybe the tits bring them in, but they stay for the person
Oh,
or
absolutely.
the pecs or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The thing about like loot tubing and jealousy is like they don't see all the people who are unsuccessful at loot tubing. They just see the successful ones.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
That's true.
Yeah, there's like a survivor's bias. Like I don't know if you guys know about this term, but like basically like you only see the ones that make it. You don't see the ones that like flame out or don't have a good time.
Exactly.
Or just fail
Who's
to
Lord
convince you.
Junji?
Oh,
Lord Junji.
Wait,
Oh.
that's my snake.
oh,
You got like a mascot?
Yeah.
Is that... Gotcha.
yeah. He's got that subtle like snake tat on his neck. But like I saw some art today where he's got like actually like petting the snake. It's pretty sick.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, like a whole like a model and everything too.
Nice.
That's sick.
That's
That
pretty
is
cool.
really cool. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Speaking of Coke, chat, if you have any questions for our panelists, feel free to drop them in chat. There is a redeem also, you can like highlight your question too. And while we won't get to it right away, but we'll try to sneak it into the conversation.
Oh, there's so many snakes in chat right now. That's awesome.
Yeah, why don't we go into something that we did want to talk about, which is about boundaries. So this is kind of like the first sort of like intro to that, where give me one sec, let me pull up the question. There it is. How do you clock and head off potential weird or parasocial energy from chat? Because this is like something that we deal with when we make intimate content, is people potentially getting a little too attached to you or potentially displaying unhealthy behaviors. So what are those behaviors? How do you identify them? And how do you head them off as the content creator?
That's a great question. I like spent a lot of time like at war with myself trying to figure out like where my boundaries lie when I was, doing more lewd tuber side stuff. And because, my chat would get pretty rowdy sometimes. And like granted it wasn't everybody, but there would be some people who would just go a little bit too far sometimes. They'd just like start talking about stuff that really like goes over the line. And I think something important is to like either be prepared to take like moderation action yourself, or like have a mod team that's ready to back you up as well. Because like when you're making content, it's not really something that you can focus on all the time. But like you have to consider that it's not just your boundaries that they're breaking or like stepping over. It's probably the boundaries of other chat members who they're making uncomfortable, and like you're in charge of a community. And like I personally would want to make sure that all of my chatters are comfortable and having a good time, ideally. But it's definitely tough, because if you start shutting chat members down when they're like having a good time, then people will be less prone to express themselves and like outwardly, show that they're having a good time. But at the same time, like you got to make sure that they don't go too far. So it's a really tough line to walk there. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have some experience with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think one thing that would happen, like, I make this known, like, I very love my community and stuff. And, and I don't mind when they tell me that. Like, we have, like, our wholesome moments and stuff.
Hmm.
We tell each other we love each other and shit. But then, like, sometimes, like, I'll be playing a game and, we'll just be, like, being silly and stuff. And I just get a random, like, Craven, I love you. And it doesn't feel like, it feels like they really, like, actually mean it. Like they have a deep, like, professional, like, love towards me. And I don't like that. That makes me, like, uncomfy. So when that happened a couple times, I had to, like, stop what I was doing and, like, just let everyone know, like, you can't call me, you can't tell me that. Unless, like, as the situation calls for it.
Yeah.
It was, like, outright randomly saying that with no context.
Mm. I have seen, and Maito definitely can vouch for this because it happens on his videos, but like people will say some pretty out of pocket stuff about like wanting to marry him or like there's no man but Maito for me, for example.
Yeah, YouTube comments are wild.
Pretty much.
Mm.
And it's like you kind of have to attribute it to like inexperience in youth, like especially when you're talking about YouTube as a platform. YouTube trends younger, for better or worse, and your videos aren't 18 plus. You're gonna have some younger folks coming in. They might get the wrong idea, you know.
Yeah, YouTube is hard for that. It's like hard to not monetize. It's hard to moderate.
Hmm.
But I think for me, I enjoy the more like. For me, it feels kind of like it takes away everyone's fun when you have to stop like doing what you're doing to talk about a boundary. So I kind of like have it just written down when there's something that makes me uncomfortable. Like I tell my mods, and I just tell them like you guys can just get rid of it in chat. Like you don't need my permission, right? You can just hear it from chat
Yes.
and take appropriate action. But I'd like when the way that we've kind of like done it is that if there's something like I love you wheelie out of nowhere, be like shit, I love me too. Like I'll play it off as a joke,
Right.
I'll weird them out is one of the other things I like to do. Like someone says something really weird, be like, okay, why did you tell me that? Did you have to tell me that? Just make me feel really awkward about it. And I think it makes a good moment for like content too, It doesn't break up the flow of content, but it kind of just keeps it going while enforcing the fact that was kind of weird,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that.
That's a great
This is
idea.
something
Yeah.
I alluded to a couple of weeks ago, I think, when we're talking about like the judo you do with chatter sometimes to sort of like not like slam them to the ground, but like, sort of redirect their energy or like get around them. Because like I'll definitely, so like this is specific to like Fansly, but like I'll have like sometimes men come in and be like, "Oh, my dick is so hard right now," and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times you just ignore it, but sometimes like when you get that horny energy towards you, and you just kind of have to like move around it.
Yeah, no, like it happens on Twitch. I'm like, bro, just put some baby powder down there. That's not my problem. I don't need that.
How do you deal with sexual attention from people outside of your preferred like gender group as far as sexual attraction goes? Like if you're straight, how do you deal with sexual attention from men where you're welcoming it from women but not from men? Is that a boundary that you put down hard and fast, or how do you do it?
I accept it. I treat them the same as if I treat my women audience. I don't want to exclude them.
Props to you.
Yeah, props to you. 100%.
I think it makes me a little bit too uncomfy for me to be able to do that. So I usually just like ignore it. It's not like I'll call them out or anything or make them feel bad for it, but like I'll just do my best to just like move past it,
Yeah, I think that's like a good approach, like it's very easy to kind of like want to be dismissive of things sometimes. So it's good that you just, let it happen, like in the way that you don't like take away their ability to express themselves, because at the end of the day, like people aren't going to know every single thing about a new streamer that they watch, and they can't like, you put two people in a room of as much as they might love each other, they're gonna start butting heads eventually, like so it's just a matter of time. And yeah, expressing your boundaries, I think for me, I kind of swing both ways, so it doesn't really matter. But even when I didn't think I did swing both ways, I didn't really care. Like I found, if anything, like flirting with, the homies was one thing that was a lot easier than like genuinely trying to flirt, So it never really mattered to me. It was kind of just like at the end of the day on stream, it's like not serious anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I suppose the blue side does amp up the tension a bit more, Fansly and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. That does. If we have time, I kind of want to come back to like flirting with your homies and such, because I do have some thoughts about that one. And like the way that VTubers do it, but it may be out of the scope of the discussion. We do have a question in chat though from TVXQ Passion. How often have you had to block someone from your area after asking to follow rules and boundaries? For me, I don't like weird behavior in chat. Like when you're coming in doing your own thing, especially if I don't know you, and you're like either trying to get me to say something or like, because number one, that's like the most common way to harass streamers, like make them say something like potentially rude or racist and like whatever. Or if you're coming in making other people in my chat uncomfortable, then you're probably getting the boot, because vibe checks are really important. And at the end of the day, like I don't have many rules, but like I know when you're breaking like my peace, so I really don't have any hesitation about that.
Yeah, that's valid.
I mean, Wheelie, I know I keep calling on you. I'm just familiar with your content. You had an interesting sort of incident with this kind of thing when your camera fell over and your actual face was revealed on stream very, very briefly. And people were clipping it and trying to see your face and like face reveal. How did you handle that?
Yeah, it's not a very good feeling to have things done to you without your consent, but I think part of the rules that I have is to respect my personal information, and there's no, I think, debating that clipping someone's personal information when it's an accident is, okay. So we just banned like people that were doing that and were under the premise, like under the perception that, okay, this is actually, wow, they're so cute, let me write that they're cute in chat. Oh my god, there's like nothing wrong with this. Sure, like on their behalf, they might have not realized that they were doing something without consent. But even if that's the case, why would I want to have someone around that might like do stuff like that without me wanting to have it happen? Like, why do I need to have someone in my chat without that emotional intelligence, right? It doesn't really serve me any reason or benefit. Like, one more viewer isn't going to make or break anything. And even if it's not just one more viewer, even if it's like 1 million, okay, it's not worth it. Like, it's not about the value of the number or like any one person. It's just about the fact that I didn't want that to happen and it happened. So like it, like, it wasn't something where they could have like they intentionally did that, right? Like they intentionally clipped, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, oh, everyone saw something. That's cool. That happens. You know, I'm not gonna be like, how dare you look at me? Take away your eyeballs. Give me your
How
eyeballs.
dare you continue looking at the stream?
Yeah, no, like that happens. But if it's like clipping, you know, intentionally breaking a rule or breaking a boundary, even if they're not fully aware that they're doing that, like, you know, how much are you gonna permit that before it keeps happening again? And specifically in those cases, those people that were clipping, they were showing other behaviors that were like weird in that they would say things a little bit too familiar, like when we aren't at a level of friendship like that, or even friendship really. So
Mm-hmm.
they would say things that were just weird anyway. So it was kind of like, this is an opportunity, you know, where it makes sense. You know, if it was just a harmless new viewer clipping, I'd kind of just let them, put them on the suspicious users list, whatever, move on. But when it's like, oh, they've also had like a track record of being a little bit too close and uncomfy and familiar, it's kind of like, okay, well,
Yeah,
you know,
trying to force like intimacy on you, trying to force like
yeah, they're probably going to do something like this again, you know,
right.
given like how they've been behaving a little bit already. Even if it's by accident, even if they don't realize, like, sure, I give people a chance to grow, but I don't have to. I'm not responsible for watching their growth or like, like they broke a boundary. So in the meantime, you know, they get consequences for it.
Mm.
But I'm not gonna be like, oh shit. In 1 year time, give me a life report on how much better you've been since then. And if you're good enough, I'll let you back in. No, like it's, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, it's like if they're willing to break that very like obvious VTuber like norm, like that you want to have your privacy respected, then what else are they capable of? And that's really what it comes down to. Like, it's not good to wait for people that you suspect will break a rule to break a rule sometimes.
Yeah. There's no benefit.
Mhm. Yeah, no, speaking as someone who's modded significantly before I started streaming, like I can see how someone who breaks rules and like sort of transgresses boundaries can make an entire community feel on edge, can like ruin an entire Discord server. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it only takes like 1 or 2 people to kill an entire vibe.
oh, absolutely.
Scary.
Like, yeah, honestly, I've had issues with that before as well.
Yeah.
But Lofi says in chat, trust is a very fragile thing. It takes years to build, seconds to break, and an eternity to repair. It's a betrayal that can last a lifetime.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
A lot of people think that forgiveness is an act of, you know, letting that transgression go back, like past, or like letting that person stay in your life. It doesn't mean that you have to do that. You can forgive someone and not want something to do with them, you know? You
Of
can
course.
True.
forgive and move on. Like, that doesn't mean that, you know, sure, I forgave that person now, but at the same time, I'm not gonna want anything to do with them. Like, I have no obligation, no reason. And sure, people have potential to change, but it's not my responsibility either. Like, you know, especially on the internet, like, how am I gonna oversee that?
Oh, absolutely.
There's no like logistical way to do that.
I've seen some streamers try to put people on probation or like warn them. It's just like you just gotta let them go sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially if they have no track record in your community, just gotta let them go, cut them loose.
Yeah. I feel like it's tough when you first started streaming, and like once you like get more like comfortable with it, you're just like one little small thing that you're just more comfortable with spamming people.
Yeah.
Like I said, like it just ruins the vibe, or like it make other people in the community uncomfortable, and I'm just not down with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people have said in chat, like it's our comfort and it's their comfort too, you know.
Mm. There was
Yeah.
actually a great question, sort of a while up in the chat. Are there any redeems that you've created that you either sort of later felt were silly and that you laughed at, or that you regretted because they turned into a boundary over time?
I had
Oh,
a
I know one. Go ahead, Graham.
I had a like a barking one.
Really?
Yeah, like,
Yo.
I'll just bark. But like, I feel like some people just come to my streams just to redeem that, and they
Mhm.
leave like right afterwards, and I didn't like that anymore. Just come and just like make me bark and then dip out. I don't know, it made me kind of like uncomfy.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
weird.
Yeah,
It's weird.
so I had to take that one off. So now like I'll bark for chat, but, like only whenever I want to.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when that happens, when like someone seems to only consume your content from one thing only. It's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
it can feel a little bit like,
Like
I
you're
don't
being
know.
used.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's a service that you provide, it's kind of like, why is it so? It feels openly like being used, for one thing.
Yeah, like, is
Yeah,
this
well,
a weird
it's
power
someone-
thing? Is this a weird sex thing that you're doing here right
Yeah.
now?
It's
you know?
someone basically using you as a spank bank, isn't it? Like they're not treating you like a person.
Yeah, that's what I felt like.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like they
it's
just want one cheap thing when you have so much more to offer.
yeah, it's dehumanizing. It's natural
Yeah.
not to enjoy that kind of behavior.
Yeah, my chat's fucking weird. They're just like putting me in a maid outfit and shit.
That's what I was gonna say. That's your redeem. That's your
Dude,
main redeem. It's the
I made that.
Mato.
I made that a reward, like a reward for a charity stream, and I regret it every day.
But what would you say is the appeal of Mato?
I think they just like how flustered it makes me and how much I don't like it.
You're a good sport, Mai. We have a question from Medicinal Kiwis. This is more of a question for Craven, but anyone's welcome to answer. Sometimes I tend to ask a lot of questions since I'm a writer and I enjoy someone's vibe. I'll make sure they're comfortable with me writing for and about them. But the question is, what do you guys think about people who ask a lot of questions, but not in a I need to know you as the person kind of way?
So they just enjoy having your attention, kind of thing. Is that it?
That
Or
is what
like
it sounds like.
prying for more info about your life.
As long as it doesn't get like too personal. Like I always encourage people asking questions about me. But yeah, as long as it get like too personal, like where do you live, or like how or like what's your hair color, or like stuff like that. I'm like, if it's like having like back to back like questions like that, I'm like, you're creeping me out a bit.
Yeah, the way I read that question, I think maybe is when people sort of ask you questions or do things out of context with the stream to sort of grab your attention. Like, do you guys ever see that as a thing that happens? Because that happens sometimes when like someone will just come in and start talking about things that are just not relevant to what we're doing.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you ask me what my mother's maiden name is, I'm just gonna have to tell you straight up. I think, yeah, like people that I think the context matters. If it's like a just chatting art sort of stream, ASMR even, I'm more okay with like random ass questions. Like that's pretty fun to me, I think. Just thinking about things and getting a discussion going with chat. But when it's like I'm playing a game that's like, the vibes are more focused on, let's say, YouTube content. I'm trying to put this on YouTube. And then there's like someone asking a random ass questions like, what's the color of my fucking underwear? I'm gonna be like, okay. No.
None. Next question.
Yeah, like we're not doing this, chat. What are you doing? And that's where it's like, okay. I think it's just context. Like, you know, some people they do just want to talk to you. You know, that's like the main thing that they want to watch you for,
Right.
and I encourage that, and it's I think fun to do. But I think there's also like a bit of, you know, context that matters for the viewer as well. Like if
Mhm.
you see that someone's in a collab and they're like on a game show or something like that, and the focus is, you know, the content at the moment, then to have random questions asked in chat, like you can't really fault anyone if they don't answer it, right? Like,
Right.
you know, but if it happens, it happens, you know? Like I'm not gonna penalize it unless it's weird.
Yeah.
But I probably might not be able to get to it.
Mm.
If it's like in a gaming context where I'm focused on something aside from chat.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think similar things can happen if you're playing like a certain game. Maybe it's like a story-based game, and you and chat are all like immersed in the story, trying to follow along, and then someone's asking you like about what your favorite builds in League of Legends are, and you're like, I mean, can you like read the room a little bit and like don't break our immersion? Like I think we're all enjoying this story-based game and trying to follow along. And I think like if you were asking questions about the game that I'm actually playing, then I think it would go over a lot better, you know. But just like if you keep things relevant to the stream, to the thing that you're watching, then you would probably get your questions answered more often. I think when you just answer random questions, it's pretty obvious that you just want attention.
Yeah, I think that's the the tension actually. It's like some people may be coming to get some good like masculine attention from you, but you're not doing that tonight. You're playing a game with chat, you're doing community night, you're doing something else that's not that. And I think that may lead to some frustration from people who may like act out, you know, try to get your attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like one thing they usually do too is like, oh, if like some people will come in and will always just tell me, oh, I have a bad day. And it's like they have a bad day like every day.
Oh god, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just
Yeah.
constant sympathy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Treating you like a trauma mattress.
Yeah, it's like I usually just go with, I'm sorry you're feeling this way. I hope you're feeling better. Or like we have a venting channel in Discord, and you're more welcome to, you know, vent in there. But yeah, sometimes it's I don't know. It could be like hard. What's like what do you say other than that?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Like,
don't want to give them the attention either. Otherwise, they just keep doing it.
Mm.
right. And that's the problem. Like, I've had a situation like that where been like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that you're going through that. Hope things get better. And then they like keep me updated on the situation. But it was a weird situation because they were claiming, first of all, that they were like in a different country, someone in their hotel building standing in front of their door that is stalking them and like was outside of their door apartment, and then they like got stuck under the staircase and like this whole elaborate story.
What the fuck?
And it turns out like it was their ex the whole time. Oh my god. And the police got called and they locked them up. Like, what the fuck is happening, bro?
Mm.
Where am I? What soap opera? No.
Wasn't there a chatter or a streamer or something who pretended to be kidnapped?
Yeah, no.
God.
This shit is so weird.
Like you're not the person answering the phone for the police station. Like why are they telling you?
Yeah, why are you coming to an extreme?
No, when people do that shit, they'll come into
Literally.
Discord servers, they're trauma dumping all over the place. Like, they're coming to take my kids away, and it's like, this is a Discord server for Maito? Like, hello, what?
Yeah.
I-
Services?
I own a Discord server for BDSM and femdom specifically, and I legit had one of the members ask me if I thought he should give his kids up for adoption.
Oh my god. How do you
What did you
respond
say?
to that?
I said that's not my decision. I'm not taking on responsibility for that shit.
The intrusive thought in me would be like, yeah, bro, fucking
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, exactly. The fact
Yeah,
that you even
fuck
asked
them
me that question,
kids.
probably you should let him go.
Yeah, just to see what happens. Like, do they actually care? Are they actually gonna do it? That'd be so whack.
Yeah,
I think it's just like people can sometimes see like you being nice or being comforting as like, okay, I can open up more and more.
Yeah.
No, you can definitely tell when it's like, okay, this person says they're in an emergency and they're on their phone on Twitch watching a male VTuber play Visage for 5 hours. Okay, no, I see what's happening. It's a weird ass moment.
Yeah. That actually leads into that question, Atra, from Sweetheart.
Sweetheart's here.
I
I
think.
was looking at it too, actually.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that, so this is from Sweetheart is here. Do you guys think platonic friendships can be formed between streamer and viewer? Maybe if regulars or a certain username you see in chat often. So do you befriend your chatters, guys?
Well, I mean, we've got one example of that right here.
Who?
You and me. You were my viewer.
I don't remember that.
Wow.
Don't know all.
Ouch.
No.
I'm gonna go find someone playing Valorant and tell them all about this conversation. But yeah, Atra was my viewer and we became like best friends. And we're super, super, super close now. So I think it can happen.
Yeah, I think that is the thing about like small content creators. We're all small content creators here, more or less, relatively speaking. We're big little guys, but like there is a level of intimacy with people you talk to every single goddamn day, like, and your mods, and like, and naturally you do end up getting close to people. Like, how close that is depends on the person, of course. Some people want to keep that wall up, some people don't. I tend to not. Like, I'm very accessible in my Discord server because, like, I treat my streams like it's a bar or, like, you know, a club.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're coming to talk to me and, like, we're just hanging out, you know?
Yeah.
If I was a YouTuber, I'd probably be like, nah, I'm not friending any of these people. Like, I'm just making the video and posting it, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Just a live interaction aspect versus like interacting comments, whatever. That's a little bit different. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm okay with like befriending my chat. I think that when, you know, they sort of, you know, be normal and, you know, like friendships can happen for all sorts of different ways, right? Organically, they can happen. You can mod someone and then get closer to them. You can see them in someone else's stream chat and form a bond there. Like, there's so many different ways you can make friends. Like, as a content creator. So I don't necessarily limit myself, but like, yeah, I think just
make it. Finish your thought, Wheelie.
yeah, no, it's just like a matter of scale, right? Like, for me, I don't always have that much time or energy to respond to people at the moment, so
Especially when it's like inane questions like, hey, just checking in. What are you doing?
Hi.
What are you playing? What's your
Good
plans for the evening?
Hi.
Oh, that's cool.
right.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, no, I think it's just like this is like not a. It's not like chat's fault or anything, but you know, as a streamer, it's harder to really, you know, befriend chat just as streaming. You know, you kind of need like something else. Like maybe you guys hang out in Discord or something. I don't know.
Yep.
But
Well, for a chatter, it's one person. For you, it's 53 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're just
True.
text on a screen. Pretty much.
yeah, I think it's a little bit easier when there's, you know, a face I can put to someone's name, even if it's a virtual avatar, you know, or just a voice or something else.
100%. I'm usually pretty picky with, like, I'm open to making friends through chat, but I'm very picky. But like, it can definitely happen. But like I think Wheelie said, being normal is a really big part of it. Like, don't give off weird vibes. Don't try too hard. You know, we're people too. And like, before I was a streamer, I was watching some like streamers, and there was a partnered streamer whose community I was like a big part in, and like I just tried to be a good community member. I tried to show up, be nice to people, greet people, hang out in Discord, and like now her and I are really good friends. And like it's definitely possible. Just like, you know, don't try too hard. And we'll
Don't
be a lot
force
more
it.
receptive. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I've
People
had,
get
like-
the misconception like things happen really quickly in the online space, relationships, friendships and stuff, but that's not the norm for everybody.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have like my DMs like open up to everyone. Like they're more than welcome to like hit me up and stuff. And one thing I don't like is when like we'll be having like a community night and like I'll have someone come in and be like, Craven, go check your DMs. I'm like,
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
and then they just dip out afterwards. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And that
Right.
happened a couple of times. And like, or they're like pestering me to like to hang out when I'm like really like busy and they know that I'm busy, like doing stuff and shit.
Is that you barking, Craven?
Yeah, keep barking.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't like the check your DMs thing.
Mhm.
Like people will do it, and like occasionally friends will do it, and like that, I'm fine with it. And, like I'll pop over Discord, but like it's inherently a selfish thing to do when you see like you're spending time with your community or you're streaming, try to take them out to just focus your attention on one person, and like it's probably like it's a weird. It's like not gonna get me to pay attention to you, like because more often than not, I'll be like, I'll check it later.
Yep.
Yeah. Or if it's me pestering you about the volume levels.
Yeah, like if you're a mod, then that's one thing. Like I feel like when I was a mod, like that was the only time I would say check your DMs because I have important information to share with you. But
Oh, I'm not a mod. I'm just opinionated.
I I was a mod for a few streamers back in the day.
We did
I
have a
know
question
how it
from
is.
Nikorai actually. Have you ever had to deal with a mod overstepping their boundaries? How would you deal with that?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will say I've never had to deal with it, but I've seen how giving people that sort of level of access to you can go wrong in certain ways for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like when I first started getting more, I guess looter, 'cause I'm very, it's really hard to make me uncomfy. It's really hard. But my mods are very overprotective, and I love that for them.
Mm.
But then I remember like someone said something. It wasn't like too bad, and they instantly timed them out without like a warning or anything. And then I didn't like that, and like they did it again like for like the same thing, and that kind of like killed my mood a bit. So like after stream, I had to like talk to my mods and like just lay out everything that like what makes me uncomfy, what doesn't make me uncomfy. When you can time out someone, or if you're like not sure, that you let me know and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. Like I think you just have, like when it comes to having a relationship with your mods that is to protect you, it's kind of it's hard because there's a lot of times where boundaries can like pop up out of nowhere. Like you'll realize you actually don't like something, and you know you just have to keep constantly communicating with your mods. But
Yeah.
like there were times where I would like, for example, feel like, you know, something was a little bit uncalled for. Like I don't like giving weird behavior attention. So I adore my mods for this, but they like get really overprotective sometimes and then like start clowning on them in chat and stuff. And I think sometimes like it's fine. For like the most of the time it's like it's good to sort of get away with that sort of parasocial vibe. But when it's like, you know, when you're trying to have a place of peace or like foster a place of comfort, and then there's sort of like a bit of like, you know,
The Gestapo.
there's like a vagueness to what might be allowed or like the boundary. Like if it's something minor, I don't really feel like it's worth all of the time like even mentioning it or even addressing it really.
Mm.
It doesn't really like bother me when it does happen when like my mods are overprotective, but I'm like, like for me, I just want to continue making the content, so it doesn't really, I don't need one way or another for them to like get more attention. I kind of just want to continue doing what I'm doing. But I've also just had like in the past people like wanting to be mods and stuff, which is okay, but then like being really forceful with it, like being like, okay, I can do this for you really good, I can do that for you really good.
Mm.
And, like trying to advertise themselves when I'm not like looking for any mods.
Right. Big red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I do understand people wanting to feel useful and, like, sort of auditioning to be a mod when they're not asked to be. But, like, at the end of the day, like, your conduct in the community, like, you can't just step into, like, someone's community and, like, want that access and responsibility. You gotta demonstrate that you are deserving of that, because if you... It goes both ways. Like, if they mod you and they're not ready to deal with, like, that level, you having that level of access to you and etc., like, it's gonna go bad, and, like, vice versa, like...
Yeah, if I can tell that somebody really wants to be a mod, it's instantly a red flag to me. Like, I mean, in other communities that I've been in, where I was added as a mod, I've definitely seen behavior like that. And like the way that I've been added as a mod is, like as a chatter, just help the streamer make the community feel comfy, like welcoming new chatters. Like you can see someone's first time chat, it gives you like a little like colored message, so you can like welcome people in. That costs nothing, and it's also not overstepping any boundaries. And us streamers notice it too. Like it's a little thing that can go a long way.
Absolutely.
But like when people are like when random chatters are overstepping boundaries and like trying to act like a mod when
no.
Yeah, like or like
modding,
you just really want to be a mod, and we can tell like it's a little uncomfy, a little bit of a red flag.
Oh yeah. We have a question here from Miss Mini VT, who was on the GFE episode last 2 weeks ago. How do you tell the difference between someone wants to be your friend or if they're a cloud chaser? This one to me is an easy answer, Mini. If you show no interest in my work, I've never seen you in my streams, we don't even like talk on Discord or on Twitter, you just see a number, see I'm talking to somebody that you want to know, then I'm very much less likely to give you any attention whatsoever. Like, showing your interest in my content lets me know that you're actually genuine about your interest in me as a person.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if I asked you, like, what's the last thing I streamed, like, they would have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would say the same thing, but also just if someone if it feels like when they ask you for something, or like when they're trying to talk to you, it's usually to get something out of you, then it's like, okay. Like it's one thing if you're like, okay, how are you? Interests, hobbies, talking like you would to someone you're trying to befriend. But if it's like, hey, can you check this thing I've been working on, and then also this thing, and also like, do you have any like
Putting pressure on you to stream with them is a big thing.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I've had weird experiences where people will be like, hey, you want to hang out? I'm like, yeah. And then turns out it's a stream with like 5 other people in it that I have no idea that were there. And they're literally not playing the game either.
Yeah, and you're subathon.
I love when that happens.
It's so weird, yeah.
Here's another question. Here's a juicy question, actually, from the Siren Venus. Since we obviously enjoy boyfriend ASMR, do any of you watch girlfriend ASMR?
I personally don't. because I don't really like I feel like a big reason why people watch roleplay ASMR is to get that like feeling of interaction and intimacy and whatnot, and like I don't really feel like I need to get that from YouTube, I guess. Sometimes I force myself to watch some ASMR videos just because I feel like consuming the content that you create is really important for like getting ideas and getting better.
Yes.
But like I don't consume it for my own pleasure. No.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I don't really listen to ASMR unless same reason Maito or like if I'm in a friend's stream, like supporting them. Other than that though. I don't really consume it.
I'll listen to it as like background noise, but not feed any like GFE experience. It's not even GFE, it's just like roleplay in general, or ASMR in general. Instead of having, I kind of alternate. I do podcasts or ASMR.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
I
if
will-
I'm... Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say that I usually do like multiple videos at a time just to overload my brain and drown out all the background noise.
Like Wheelie Clockwork
Shut down the
Orange having his
voices.
eyes.
Yeah, I mean, when you live in an environment that isn't always very like quiet and peaceful, it helps to like block it
Drown
out
it out.
sometimes. Yeah.
Very true. That's so true, actually. I think for me, like, I'm listening to it if it's incidental, like as these guys have mentioned, like if it's background noise, if like it's a stream of a friend I'm watching, because I listen to these guys too, actually, and I'll just have them on, like, you know, let's enjoy the cool vibe. Like, it's not like so much like I'm like there for the BFE vibes. They're just really chill, and I like just hanging around them because like it's a good way to wind down my night, like
Yeah.
to drown out the voices. Yeah.
Have any of you ever listened to like lewd audios of other content creators and like got turned on? Or does it weird you out that they're like basically colleagues, like fellow content creators, or potentially that you even know them?
My colleagues are hot. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
No, I need to though.
Platonic arousal. Shut up. Jerks off to you as a friend.
Well, yeah, just because someone is a friend doesn't mean they're not attractive anymore, you know? But I think it's just like it depends on the context.
Yeah,
It does
I
depend on
listen,
context.
I listen to my friends just for like giving them feedback, but like that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a work setting, I don't. Like if it's for me editing someone, I cannot. Like,
Blows you like a bro.
I think if I stumble across something on Twitter, I'm definitely like gonna take a peek. You know, I'm too curious not to.
Mhm. Oh, you have to be, especially as a content creator. Like for both sides, you know.
Mhm.
Like, what's he doing? Like, what's she doing?
with the dog.
Like
doing-
people. Go ahead, Billy.
No, you're good.
I think people need to have a natural curiosity about other people's content. Otherwise, you will stagnate and you won't know what's good.
True.
By the way, chat, we are coming up on 2 hours. The depths is generally 2 hours plus, but not much more than that. So, let's get some final questions, if you please. We won't get to all of them, but if we see anything that might be relevant to discussion, we'll definitely delve on it.
Yeah,
And
quick fire
Mystique-
round.
Yeah, quick fire round. And Mystique, do you also want to get into the question that you wanted to ask?
Oh yeah. Do you feel that the scrutiny of harassment of mask presenting content creators is like sufficient? How is that affected you? Have you been affected by harassment?
No, thank God. I heard like
Yeah.
horror stories, but like, thankfully, like, I haven't dealt with anything like that. The whole community's really swell and nice, so it's been really like I'm just grateful I haven't dealt with anything like harassing or like death threats or anything like that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't even mean to the point of death threats. I mean, like people who will transgress your boundaries, or be too intense or too forward because they assume that you must be okay with it because you're a lewd content creator, therefore you must be horny all the time, or
Like sex
yeah.
pests.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
like
will-
people who can't turn it off.
I will say, like, because I'm in a mod server that is pretty large, probably has 100 plus mods in it.
Mhm.
When people, and it actually, would say even is biased towards, not biased in the bad way, but biased towards like mods who mod for male creators. Like, people tend to take it seriously, actually. Like when
Mhm.
minors come in or when people are creepy and uncomfortable, because nobody wants to see like their friend, like their mod, their streamer get harassed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be randos and idiots on Twitter who's gonna be like, oh well, you should be flattered by that, or why are you making a big deal out of this. But I think as a whole, like the norm of the community is to take any kind of harassment seriously.
Yeah, it does still happen, like, though, where people will be weird and send you things that you don't want or you didn't ask for, like, you get weird attention sometimes, and I think it's just, you kind of have to have a very strict boundary for that if you don't like it, like, you kind of just keep doing it otherwise. And
Yeah.
if you're not sure how you feel, it's always okay to express that, like, tell the person, yo, I don't know if I'm cool with this right now, maybe hold on, wait for a bit until I think about it,
Yeah, if we're talking about like the community meta, like how the VTuber community at large like treats harassment of male streamers, I want to say I'm optimistic that it's good. Do certain just double standards exist? Absolutely. I definitely think there is a tendency to transgress certain boundaries with male streamers that like people wouldn't normally do. Thankfully, I don't think it's very common. And I think if someone had just honestly came to Twitter and been like, hey, this made me feel comfortable, they would be taken seriously. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, for the most part. I think the biggest thing with the internet is a lot of people don't understand that they might be affecting your boundaries or pushing them,
That is true.
I had a guy who I had to slap down quite hard because he started. We started off chatting, and like I was like, "Yeah, it's really nice that you don't sexualize me, and we can just talk and hang out." And it slowly got more and more sexual, and he'd start sending me links to porn, and then he sent me a video of himself with like white liquid on his face and chest, and then scrolled down to like panned down to show that it was a bowl of cereal. And I was like, no, we're stopping here. But like, he was absolutely flabbergasted and hugely apologetic because he had no idea that that was even something that would be like inappropriate. He didn't even think.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Bro
and
just had his
honestly,
cornflakes up.
Yeah.
that's the responsibility of being a content creator, is like respecting your boundaries. You have to just tell people, hey, that's weird, don't do that.
Yeah. No, because I like someone in a stream. It was like Craven. Like I came to one of your audios, and then everyone like all like mad at them about it. They're like, "What? It's an 18+ stream. Why is everyone getting all crazy about me about it?" I'm like, it's Twitch is not the place to say that.
Yeah.
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 Just imagine
Yeah.
Craven's like playing a game. And it's like, hey, I came to you, and he's just like, what?
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's a compliment. Yeah. But Twitch, that's
Time
just
and
not-
place.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
not the
Yeah.
place to do that.
And it's not always like necessarily a compliment, right? It can feel very like objectifying and stuff.
Yeah.
Even if they mean it with quote unquote good intentions.
Yeah.
I kind of don't even want to hear that on Fansly, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let me do my thing. Don't tell me you jerked off to like my pictures or whatever it is. I don't know how to react to that. That's just like, let me play the game. Let me play the game. Go away.
I'm playing the trombone here, but asshole.
I'm playing the trombone. Oh. Up off. We'll continue.
Continue, yeah.
Go on.
All right, we'll do 2 more questions. I see this one here from Supreme Leader. We kind of covered this, but let's just sort of circle back to it. Will you listen to other BFE artists for ideas and inspirations, or is it too cringe to be able to do your own market research? And if it's too difficult, do you recruit liaisons who report back to you? So do you guys do market research?
Yeah, I actually find myself admiring the work they put into it too, you know?
I don't do it as much as I think I should be, but I'm definitely open to like listening to other people's audios to see what works.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I don't do market research, but I wish, like, I know I need to.
Mm.
It's kind of
Even beyond like VTubers, there's like random Twitter accounts. It's just like some guy with a deep voice and a profile picture with like
Oh, God.
100,000
Yeah.
like followers, right?
Yeah.
Like not
And
even
you
a
can
streamer,
hear that he's
like-
driving his voice down.
But even so, it works for him. Like he's got
Mm.
like thousands upon thousands of like likes and views, and it's like, all right, well, what's that guy doing? I want to know a little bit more about what he's doing. What's his what kings is he playing to? What's his content like? Because you got to look at who's successful. It's like really like envision what you're gonna like. People want to think that they're coming into this like, and they're so unique and they're gonna succeed based on their own like uniqueness. You still need to see what the landscape's like out there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Maito. He started off with one picture, which is the one that he's got right now. One. That's it. And he posted it like he would repost it with different captions and different voice clips and stuff like that. And like he only started getting other art months into his career, and he became successful quite quickly because of all the other work he was putting into it.
Oh,
Yeah, popping off on YouTube and such. Yeah.
And that's what initially caught my attention when I became aware of him, was like people bitch about not having an amazing model like Wheelie has or Craven has, but like it's like this guy has one picture, that's it, and he built what he has.
I didn't even know you were paying attention to me back then.
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah. I'm proud of all of you guys. Everyone.
I'm proud of you.
Thank
Right
you.
back at you, homie.
Dude, even from like where you were last at and the last time you were on this show to where you're at now, like you've come a long way.
I'm proud of you,
Thank you.
Craven.
Mm-hmm.
Proud of all you.
I
I've never
was getting
spoken
to
to you until
Craven.
tonight. I'm proud of you.
Hi.
This is definitely one of like this is like I was very excited for this panel because I admire all these creators here like so much. Like unapologetically, I do listen to them. Like actually do listen to their streams and like follow their content. So to have all 3 of you in a room is pretty fantastic to me. But yeah, why don't we why don't we sort of like answer the final question, which is what do you like about being a VTuber?
I like the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Craven.
Oh, you go ahead.
All right. I like that I can be whoever I want. You know, like before I was a VTuber, I wasn't a fucking villain. You know, I was that nice dude that always got walked over. But I decided that when I started hiding my face, because I used to be a face cam streamer, when I started hiding my face, I'm just gonna choose who I want to be. You know, and I don't want to be walked on anymore. I'm not gonna be that doormat. So I wanted to be a villain. I wanted to make my own rules, and now I can. And it's actually helped me be more sure of myself and like for better or worse, adapt some of my villain qualities IRL, and just don't take less shit, be more self-assertive, and just own what I do. And I think that's pretty fucking cool.
That's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I feel the
it does
same
give you a
way.
certain swagger IRL, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big confidence boost. I don't know. I feel like I became like a lot more confident since I became a VTuber.
Mhm.
Yeah. I got a
It's like
lot
when you wear
more
matching
confident.
underwear sets. Like makes you more confident.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know what
think.
it is.
Yeah, Atra,
My
don't you
underwear
love
always
it when your
matches.
bra matches your panties?
Yeah, I'm like
Oh, all
trying
the
to figure
time.
out what are you matching? Like my socks? Like
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
always
I think
coordinate
it's
my
just him
socks and my
being quiet,
boxers.
Kiwi.
mm.
My boxers match my bald cap. Wheelie, what were you trying to say earlier?
Yeah, I really enjoy VTubing because it lets me express myself in a way that I found comfortable and also lets me put ideas and concepts together that are a little bit harder to do outside of like a fantasy setting. Like you can have, an easier way of doing stuff like lore and big events and projects like that based off of like a model and character and stuff. I think that my favorite thing about VTubing though is just the community, that I've come to found and just how fulfilling it feels to create content and people like it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like that would be my favorite too, is just the community in general. I feel like, I don't know, like they're like the best part of my day. I always look forward like streaming just to hang out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just accept me who I am. And like, I accept them for who they are and just like, I don't know. Like, they always say like, oh, like Craven, you're the one that brings this like all the good people in. I'm like, no, it's you guys. You're the ones that, like, you say hello to everyone that comes in, you say goodbye, say goodnight. You're the ones that give each other subs and shit. Like, it's just like
It's a
there's
great
like,
feeling when chat talks to each other as much as they talk to
yeah,
you.
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. Like I found out like they're have their own group chats or like see them in the VCs without me being in there. It's like so cool. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's a great feeling.
Yeah, or like going to like one of their streams and seeing all of them hanging out in there. I'm like, damn, it's really cool. Wasn't expecting that.
There is a point though. If you
Absolutely.
see too many of them hanging out there, then you're like, okay, what's going on? What are you? What are you plotting, you little gremlins? There's something that a streamer. So when I first started out, like someone who I look up to and is kind of large, like did raid into me, and it was a like substantial rate for like a small streamer at the time, and like I remember like thanking him later, like wow, thank you so much for raiding me. That's so cool of you. Blah blah blah. He's like, yeah, I didn't do anything. I just raided you. Like you like he brought them to me, and then they stayed because I like of my personality and like what I did in that stream, whatever it is, and that's always stuck with me. Like at the end of the day, like opportunities will come and go, but like it's up to you to keep people in your community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has been the boyfriend experience with our lovely panel here. We're gonna do some plugs. So starting from exactly to my right, Maito, anything to plug?
Check out my YouTube channel. I'm coming back soon. I'm cooking.
What's the link?
I guess I can pull up the link if you want.
Tay, can you pull up the link for us, please? Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, go check out Maito on his YouTube. Also Mondays on Twitch. Baldur's Gate playthrough with myself, Dear Chaos, Maito, and Dixie.
You
So
should
make
do
sure
a
you get the
session of that
microphone.
without your hair textures on.
Is there a way to turn it off?
Yeah, you just you create a new model and erase it from the texture map. I'll show you.
Yeah.
If I go permanently bald over that, I'm going to be upset at you.
Yeah, duplicate the model first.
Yeah, duplicate the model.
Or don't, just join me.
Fair
Join me.
enough. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. Thank you, of course, Maito. Always, your insights always greatly appreciated. There's a reason I bring you back on so many goddamn times.
Love you, bro. Thanks for having me.
Love you too. Wheelie, anything to plug? Mwah.
I am going to be streaming in like 20 minutes ish, 30 minutes. Gonna be coming back from vacation, so yeah, it's been a week, and I looking forward to this new year and Blue Twitch.
Hey, yo.
Hey yo.
I'm starting one too.
Let's go.
I love how
Yeah.
Craven looks like he's falling asleep on Wheelie's shoulder. Like how he's leaning over.
Thank you.
It's adorable.
Comfy shoulder.
Well, yeah, you heard the man. Like, follow Wheelie on Blue Twitch. Follow Wheelie on Twitch. Looking forward to greeting you over there, Wheelie.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but yeah.
Well, how it works is like I'll stop by, drop $1 in chat, say "Good job, bro," and then leave without making you comfortable. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's how you support the homies on Fansly. Yeah. And last but not least, Craven. Anything to plug?
I'll be streaming on Twitch Sunday. I'll be starting to do ASMR twice a week instead of my usual one.
Ooh.
And yeah, like I said earlier, Blue Twitch this year and Patreon.
Nice.
Yeah. Zone.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. We have some company over there for once. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good things are happening this year.
Exactly. Good things are happening this year. This is gonna be our year, guys. And last but not least, Lady Mystique.
Hey everyone. You can find all of my links on ladymystique.tv. I've got some content up on Fansly. I will be spinning that up again this year, particularly when I get my second round of dental surgery. I do pre-recorded audios and live streams, so I hope you'll stop on by. ladymystique.tv.
Thank you,
Let's
Mystique.
go.
Always. Yeah. Let's go. Lady Mystique is our lovely co-host. Has co-hosted so many episodes of this podcast. Could not do this podcast without her. Thank you very much, Mystique.
And look at what you
Yeah.
built, man. Like, this started with you playing Power Wash Simulator with me and Renry and I think Bagel, and we were just talking about stuff, and 20 episodes later, look at this. It's incredible.
Hell yeah. You guys be proud of yourselves.
Absolutely.
I am proud of it. That's true. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I've been your
actually
host. Thank you. I don't know how to take praise. Sorry, well, what can I tell you? I've been your host, Atramentum_X, Rice streamer and lewd tuber. I'm an 18+ streamer. I make lewd content, but I also make say-so content. Catch me on Twitch almost every night, and if not on Twitch, then I'm Fansly. This has been the Devs Podcast. Please like and subscribe. We will be back in 2 weeks with another episode, and we will play ourselves out with the preview. But before I do that, have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.